You want to see your shot clearer when you record your talking head videos to make sure that everything looks good and you don't need to reshoot, but you don't know how to do that in the best way possible. I tested everything and I will show you the most practical and convenient 3 options to monitor your recordings while shooting. And I will share a secret with you about the biggest mistake creators make when monitoring their recordings. Let's start with the first classic one and maybe the most expensive and, in my opinion, not the best for talking head videos, a camera monitor. A camera monitor is practical because you can use a long HDMI cable and place the monitor near you for a clearer view. Also, it has useful features as zebra to set the exposure right. You can attach it anywhere, on the tripod or on the desk, but you need to power it with an NPF battery or a power cable. Also, for talking head videos, it's not that big. We shoot talking head videos in a studio with a fixed setup, so the size of a monitor is not a problem as if you want to attach it to a camera rig. But the good news is that we don't need an expensive monitor because in a studio we can use a monitor with 500 or 600 nits without problems. The brightness is more than enough for talking head videos shot in the studio. For example, I have 2 monitors, an Andicine F6 Plus, the old version, and a Portkey PT6. Both are great, almost the same. The PT6 is smaller, but other than that, they work the same way. Of course, you can find bigger monitors at 7-inch, 10-inch or 12-inch, but those cost more. The PT6 is around $119 and the F6 Plus, but the new version costs around $139 at the time of publishing this video. Don't worry, I will add affiliate links in the description for all the equipment presented in this video and all the equipment that I use to shoot my videos. If you click on my links, you're not going to pay anything extra, but I will earn a small commission and this will help me keep sponsors away from this channel and create more valuable content for you. Thank you. The advantage of a camera monitor is that if you shoot like me in a studio and also outdoors, you can use it for both. But if you shoot outside, consider a brighter monitor with at least 1000 nits. And the disadvantage of using a camera monitor, the monitor is small. Even if you use a 7-10-inch monitor, considering the fact that you shoot in a studio, we can use something more comfortable and see better because the size is not a problem. In this case, what will be the next viable solution? I told you that for many creators, one solution can be free and better in my opinion. If you have a monitor, a classic normal monitor, just use the right HDMI cable, in my case a full-size HDMI to micro HDMI, and directly connect the camera to the monitor. When you want to see and check the shot, just change the input of your monitor according to the port you use to connect it, and that's it. It's that simple. The biggest advantage of this method is that if you have a monitor, it's free to use it for this purpose and it's huge. This helps a lot because you will be 100% sure that you don't miss anything. The shot is straight, you stay exactly where you want and nothing in the background is where it shouldn't be. Also, it will help you see the light better and see the shadows and the balance between the background lights and the main lights. The only downside is that you don't have features like zebra or false color or a grid and you need to switch the input of your monitor. But the result is great and you can adjust the exposure by looking directly at the small camera monitor where you can see the zebra and everything you want, and after that check what you want, the details on the big monitor. For talking head videos is a cheap practical method if you have a monitor. But what if you use a laptop and want to do more? Let me show you the third method. I consider it the most practical, useful, and it's the one I use all the time to monitor my videos. And after we will talk about the biggest mistake to avoid no matter what method you use. What I like to use to monitor my videos is a capture card. With a good capture card you can do so much. You can monitor your videos, you can stream, you can record on a PC if you want, and you can have online video calls. What I like to use is the Elgato Camlink 4K. I've had 2 of them for years working perfectly and the quality is extremely good. Having the camera connected to the PC with the HDMI cable will allow you to have the image on the PC. If you use the Elgato Camlink, you have the Elgato software where you can see the image and control the prompter. Also, you can put the preview on the prompter with the click of a button if you want, which is great. You can also turn on a grid. But if you want something else, you can preview the image in OBS as an example. And also you can use the mirrorless camera for Zoom calls if you need. A quality capture card is such a versatile equipment to invest in for your studio. If you don't have an external big monitor, you can monitor the shot on your laptop. In my opinion, it's the most practical and convenient way to monitor the shot for talking head videos when you shoot in the studio. I use and recommend the Elgato Camlink 4K, and it costs around $100 at the time of publishing this video. I will also add a link in the description. Now, let me show you the biggest mistake you can make when monitoring the recording, no matter what method you use. Never, but never keep the monitoring on when you shoot. I know it sounds strange, but listen, you check the image, check the background, check the exposure and everything, and after, when you are ready to shoot, turn off the monitoring because that will distract you. You think that you need to see yourself to look better, but that will actually make you look unnatural and the connection between you and the audience will be lost. You need to talk to the audience, look into the lens. Your mind should be on the meaning of the words talking to your audience. If you have yourself on the screen, your mind will be somewhere else, thinking about how you move your hands, how the shirt sits on you, and how good or bad you look. You did the final check after pressing record. Everything is okay. Concentrate on talking to the audience, not on how you look. You dressed well for the shot, you checked everything, you don't need to permanently see yourself. If you walk on the street, you check yourself in the mirror when you walk through the door, and that's it, you don't permanently see yourself. Also, if you use a big monitor, you will see yourself moving on the side, which will be disturbing. I check the shot, and when I start talking, I switch to the prompter view and also reduce the monitor brightness to the minimum. So, if you shoot in the studio and also outside, a camera monitor will be the best choice. It will cover you in any situation. If you want to see the shot better and already have a big monitor, connect the camera directly and it will work perfectly. And if you want to monitor the shot on a big screen, have online calls and record on PC, use a capture card and do it professionally. But you can monitor the shot perfectly in the best way possible for nothing. If you don't have the shot set properly, the final result will still look bad. To solve this, I will give you a dedicated video where I show you how to find the perfect spot to shoot your videos, how to perfectly place the lights, and how to arrange the shooting space for the best results. Watch this video and transform the look of your videos instantly.